To make my tissue box cover, I'm using a soft drink cardboard box, and I've cut a small piece out, and the measurement that I've cut is from the width of it is 33 centimeters and the length of it is 43.5 centimeters. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and measure in 10 centimeters all the way around on the four sides. I've marked my box out, so this is the center part where the tissue box is going to be, and the sides. And on the small sides I'm going at a 45-degree angle. I'm going down by 2.5 centimeters on the top part of it and on the bottom part, and I'm doing that on two sides of this small piece, and then there'll be two on that side as well. And then I'm going to score the box, and I'm just going to use the back of a pair of scissors to score the box and then cut it all out. So we're going to be cutting along this line and along here and down all the way. I've got a piece of A4 paper, and all I'm doing is I'm marking exactly how big my box is, and then I'm going to cut that little piece of paper out so that I can get my center design for my tissues. I've got my piece of paper, and now all I'm going to do is fold it in half and then fold it in half again, and then you just draw whatever design you want on. So I've just drawn sort of like a backwards J, so that it'll be the same all the way through. So now I'm just going to cut that out. Just open it out, and that's the design that you have, or the opening, and then all you're doing is putting it onto your cardboard and then tracing around that and then cutting that section out. I'm going to be using an empty cutter to cut this out. On a spare piece of cardboard I'm doing my little designs, and the distance I'm doing it in one piece, so it's 24 centimeters long and they're 12 centimeters wide each, and from the top I've marked down 0.5 centimeter, and on the sides 0.5 centimeter as well, so on the bottom and both sides. So they've done that on both pieces, and then I've got another one which is 6 centimeters by the same 3 centimeters, and marking up and in by 0.5 centimeter. And I've got 2 of those, and now what I'm going to be doing is cutting this section out on each of them. I'm going to just be using a scalpel or an empty cutter to do that. For myself personally, I find it a lot easier cutting it in a solid piece than cutting individual pieces out. So once I've cut those out, then I'll slice it down the 12 centimeter mark and then the 6 centimeter. When you're cutting, always cut on the side that you don't need. So I don't need this section, so I'm going to be cutting along these lines here. I've got all my pieces cut out, and now I'm just going to divide my cardboard to get my 4 pieces that I need. I've got all my little pieces cut out, and now I'm going to be using this spray adhesive, which is a contact adhesive, and I'm going to be using aluminium foil. So I'm going to be spraying on there and on the aluminium foil. I'm using the shiny side down. Now I'm just going to take my foil and place it on top of them. And now I'm going to spray the back so that these ones have also got glue on, so that I can just slice these and then fold them over. And now we can cut each one out and wrap it around. I've wrapped my little piece up. So I'm just cutting this small little square out, and I'm leaving about 3 millimeters just so that it can cover the cardboard. I've got some very thin cardboard which I'm using from some packaging which had the super glue in it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foil and I'm going to crumple it up. Now you can crumple it as loose or as tight as you want, it all depends, and it gives you a slightly different look. I'm going to crumple that whole piece up, and then I'm going to take my spray again and put it on here so that I can place these little pieces on top and then cut them out. So I've crumpled mine quite coarsely, and it gives you the same effect as the crushed mirror glass, but unfortunately these ones are too thin to put the mirror glass in there, so that's why I'm doing it this way, and it'll go like that. And I'm just going to glue these on with hot glue. I've glued all my pieces down. Now while they're on a nice solid surface so that they're not going to wiggle all over the place, I'm going to be using this bling wrap, and I'm cutting just 1 strips so that I can place them all the way around each of my little boxes. I'm going to be gluing those all on with hot glue. I've got all my rhinestones on. Now I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to be using this self-adhesive book wrap, and I'm going to just cut a piece out to fit onto the top first, and then I'll cover the rest of the box once I've glued it together. The easiest way to pull this apart is to place some tape on the front and on the back, and then just pull it apart, and then take your tape off. And now I'm going to cut this out so that I can flip it over on either side. And then just flip them upwards and just do the whole one like that. I've got the top of the box done, and now I'm going to glue the sides together. So I'm going to be gluing along this little tab here so that when we close our box up, it makes a nice square. I'm going to use hot glue to do that. I've got my box all glued together, and now we're going to finish the box off by taking some more of the paper and just wrapping it around. Now I'm going to be going over by 1 centimeter. You can go over a little bit more so that I can wrap it underneath inside the box here. Once again, using the tape to separate it, and then pull your tape off. I like to start in small pieces at a time, so I keep the backing on. And then just go around the whole box. I find if you leave the backing on, you have got a better chance of getting it straight, and this part doesn't get stuck to everything. So when you're ready, line it up and then just pull the backing away. Plus it gives you fewer bubbles. I'm cutting the corners straight so that I can wrap the pieces over. And now we're ready to decorate the box. So I'm going to be going around this small section here with one row of the bling wrap, and I'm going to use hot glue to glue that all on. On the corners all the way around the box, I'm going to be taking some more of the bling, and I'm using 4 rows for this, and I'm going to be putting 2 on one side and then 2 on the other side. And I'm wrapping it round to do the other side. And I'm doing all 4 sides like that. I'm going to be doing the same by going around the top. Now you'll notice that when you do the top, you're going to have to cut out 4 little stones on the one side because they're going to overlap to get to the top. At the bottom of the box, I'm going to be taking a strip of 2 and be gluing that on as well. I've glued everything all around the box, and now we're going to take the small little pieces like that we made, and we're going to glue them. The small one is going to glue onto the side and the larger one on the front. I'm just using hot glue to glue this on. And then some of the extra pieces that I cut off, which is a 4x4, I'm just going to be gluing those onto the side as well. So we're going to glue all these panels onto the front, the back and the 2 sides. I've got an assortment of rhinestones of different sizes, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the larger ones and I'm going to be placing them onto the corners and the center of the box. And on the sides as well. And that's a very nice, cheap and easy way of making a really nice bling looking tissue box.